knew in practice I had good pace as I topped the timesheets, and in quali P2, but a little mistake costed us pole position. And I was really looking forward to the race. Got a good start, stayed in second, kept Kit under pressure, and he made a mistake, so that managed me to get through into the lead and just managed it from there.
Yeah, it was good. Just struggled with a bit of understeer, I'd say mainly. Then went off, had a bit of a difficult time managing the tyres and just made it quite difficult. Was unideal, I'd say, since, well, the mess-ups, but considering all of it, second isn't bad. And, well, just getting the points and all that down. So hopefully can win championship.
Yeah, I mean, we got off the line quite good. So we stayed in third position and we pushed hard. I think we did a good job. The pace was really good. Just some small mistakes here and there where I let them pull away a bit. But I mean, I'm happy with the podium, and I think we did a good job.
Yeah, it was such a good start, and I was already driving fourth position after the second turn, and then I was staying the whole time fourth. And yeah, then at I think the last couple of laps, I was making one big mistake, and then the two guys, overtook me. So yeah, that was it. But yeah, I did my best what I could, and I learned every race more and more, and get so much more experience. And I'm so happy that I drove this circuit.
We've reached the halfway point in the 2025 F4 Saudi Arabian Championship, certified by FIA, presented by Aramco. 5 races done, 5 races to go. We're in the middle of the season here at round 3 of the Jeddah Corniche circuit, and it's going to be a fantastic battle under the floodlights for qualifying for the 6th race of the season, which is race 2, round 3. Here we are again on the Jeddah Corniche circuit, one of the newest street circuits in Formula 1, and a fantastic battle. For many of these drivers, this is their first time ever competing on a street circuit, and what a battle it has proven to be already. Last night's race gave us a thrilling challenge, 6.174 kilometers of race circuit, right close up to the Red Sea. And this will be a fabulous battle for all of the drivers as we prepare for another challenging fight under the lights here at Jeddah Corniche. Great to be with you once again. Jake Sanson in the commentary box as our drivers challenge for the second half of the season to figure out what happens next. In the first 5 races of the year across Bahrain International and here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we've had 3 different race winners, a pair of victories for Kit Bolofsky and Adam Al-Azhari in Bahrain. And here at Jeddah Corniche, yesterday night, a first-time winner on his first attempt. Lewis Werrell, the 15-year-old from Lincoln in the United Kingdom. He took a flamboyant victory in yesterday's opening race of the round, and on his debut in the championship too. But this man, Adam Al-Azhari, is the man who took first blood in free practice too earlier today. So the man from Dubai, trying to get his championship attack back on charge, is definitely going into this race with plenty of excitement. From first in free practice too, he's got a great chance to progress. There is Farah Al-Yusuf, the second of the 2 Team Valvoline cars. She'll be making more steady progress as the only non-racing driver really in the field. She is an engineer first and a racing driver second. Amazing to see her take on the task of competing in F4 Saudi Arabia. Esme Kosterman taking her 2nd straight Ladies Cup victory last night in Saudi Arabia after doing so in race 2 of round 2 in Bahrain last month. So the 20-year-old from the Netherlands is definitely still on charge and looking good for another top 6 finish here tonight. But the first business is qualifying. 20 minutes, and then in just 4 hours' time, we will get ourselves ready for race 2, round 3. One of the newest faces on the grid, Wojciech Woda, the Polish driver, gearing up for another spectacular battle as he runs to time. And the Belgian talent Thibaut Ramekers is also looking good for a very strong race battle here at Jeddah Corniche. We're under the floodlights. It's gone dark here in Saudi Arabia. We've been here since about noon, roughly, to get ourselves ready for the exciting battles that await us. One half of the season is done. That's all finished. And for the drivers, it's already ancient history. The battle in this one, though, is going to be fierce, as Kit Bolofsky has a 17-point lead in the championship over Adam Alazari, with the rest of the pack trying to chase amongst the scraps. This man had a bit of a difficult time in free practice too. Faris Organji, the 17-year-old from here in Jeddah, he had a problem going into his first flying lap in free practice too. The car stopped at turn 1 on the runoff area, bringing out the red flags, and sadly he did not get to run the car again in free practice 2. That means that he's 40 minutes essentially behind everybody else in race preparation, so that's going to be tough for him to recover from. You just caught a glimpse there of the 99 and 56 cars, the A-Stop machines. Number 99 is going to be on everybody's mind tonight. Abdullah Kamel, the 16-year-old from Jeddah, third in qualifying yesterday, stalled it on the start, could have been a podium without that, so let's see if he can turn his fortunes around tonight. And there is Scott Lindblom, the man who finished third in yesterday's first race of the round, and he's definitely threatening to take his first victory in F4 Saudi Arabia. Don't forget, this is his first single-seater campaign. The car in the background, that is the unbelievably fast Maserati MC Extrema, which is part of the Motormania event that is coming up a little bit later on. We'll try and talk you through the process of those heats as well, with some amazing cars coming out later on. And you'll get to see all of that unfold on the F4 Saudi Arabia Championship channel. But now our 14 competitors are ready to venture out onto the Jeddah Corniche circuit again under the lights. It's going to be cooler than it was earlier on for free practice 2, but it's not going to be easy to tame this wild beast of a circuit. Just a shave over 6 kilometers in length. They walked every single inch of it on Sunday night. Now they get to go to battle out on the circuit to put in some fast lap times. And of course, at the end of this session, the fastest time set by the fastest driver will be the time that puts them to pole position for tonight's second race of round 3. The drivers venture out onto the circuit. There is Wojciech Woda, the Polish driver for Team Zahid. He's one of the 2 newest competitors in the championship. Championship leader Kit Bolofsky in car number 6 there, the red Peaks car. There is Farah Al-Yusuf, the 23-year-old engineer from Riyadh. Amazing to see that she's decided to go into this task as a racing driver when she is actually an aerodynamic engineer first, having competed in various different disciplines of rental karting up to this as part of her passion, but she never really considered a serious attempt at motor racing was on the cards until the beginning of this year, when she decided, I need a little bit more acumen, I need a little bit more applied knowledge to do as well as I possibly can in my thesis for my engineering qualification. So let's go racing. That's a very brave task for someone who is not a natural racing driver. Very good work indeed so far this season from Farah Al-Yusuf. Her personal targets are very simple. Get faster every time. And that's exactly what she's been doing. So with 18.5 minutes left of the qualifying session, the drivers have only used the first minute and a half to venture out onto the circuit and start to warm up the tyres and brakes. There's not a lot of opportunity to wait around. You've got to get out there and put your fast lap down early. If we get a red flag in the first 3 minutes of the session, it's a disaster for pretty much everybody, because they only get 1 set of tyres to go out onto the circuit and put their lap times down, so they've got to make good use of them. They're certainly going to find it easier to get the most out of the tyres here compared to in the Bahrain International Circuit last month, because it's night time. So the track is going to be cooler, the air temperature is lower, so they're going to be able to use the tyres a lot more effectively in qualifying here than they were in Bahrain a month ago. Essentially, the drivers were telling me that these Pirelli tyres were only really lasting for 2 flying laps at the Bahrain International Circuit. Last night in qualifying, drivers were able to get 3, sometimes even 4 laps out of the tyres in these slightly cooler conditions. So this will be fascinating. Kit Bolofsky had a bit of a difficult time in free practice 2 this morning. He spent almost 20 minutes of it in the pit lane trying to get an understanding as to what was not quite going according to plan, but the engineers got on top of it and they managed to put him straight into the top 3. So very good work indeed from the mechanics to put him back on track. 17 points clear in the championship. The 15-year-old from London, TikTok and YouTube sensation, former British karting champion in the cadet world. So he's definitely got some amazing acumen to come into it. Here are the 2 Saudi Arabian drivers. Farah Al Youssef and Faris Organji, the 23-year-old from Riyadh and the 17-year-old from here in Jeddah. But a lot of the fans back home in London, England, will be watching this sensational young talent, Kit Bolofsky. What an amazing opportunity this championship has turned out to be for him. In the first 5 races of the year, he has taken 2 wins, a second and a third, as well as a points finish just outside the podium. And that has given him a championship lead. At the end of tonight, he could be the first driver in the championship to hit the century for points. He currently has 91 after the first 5 races of the year. And he is the only driver tonight that can go into the hundreds. Even if Adam Al-Azhari were to take the win, his current score is 74, so he'll only move to 99 maximum. There are no bonus points on offer for either the fastest lap or for a pole position. So the drivers have got to take full advantage of the situation in the race itself. Some championships do award bonus points for that, but not every championship is aligned the same way. And certainly here in the F4 Saudi Arabian Championship, there are only points on offer for the top 10 finishing positions, and it's exactly the same point scoring system as we see in Formula One. 25 points available for the victory. Kit Bolofsky passes my position. What's his opening lap? 49.1 in sector 1, 42.3 in the second, 43 flat in the third, 2:14.6. That just opens up the gauntlet. That's not a competitive lap time. He's going to be going towards the 2:07s if he wants a pole position. So that's just to open the playbook for pole position, essentially, amongst the other drivers. You'll know that the drivers are really going for it when we get into the 2:08s and 2:09s. The top drivers will be looking to get a 2:07. So Farah Al Youssef starts the ball rolling with a 2:17.7. Faris Organji backing off in the second sector to go 2:24. Fastest in the speed trap is Wojciech Woda. He does a 2:69 to warm things up. But this is just the beginning of the qualifying run. So all 14 competitors ready for a big chance forward. Kit Bolofsky leads the championship, as we mentioned. Adam Al-Azhari second. Third in the championship race now is Scott Lindblom, who's only 6 points behind Adam Al-Azhari. He's been gaining rapidly in the last couple of races. A second and 2 third positions this year. In fact, Scott Lindblom actually has a stat that nobody else has in the championship, which is that he is the only driver so far this year to finish every single race in the top 5. Even the top 2 men in the championship can't say that, because Kit Bolofsky had a 6th place in Bahrain, and so did Adam Al-Azhari. So although Lindblom has not yet taken a victory so far in the F4 Saudi Arabia Championship 2025, yet, I hasten to add, he's the only driver all year that hasn't finished outside the top 5. So he's still very much a championship contender for my money, and that means that there's effectively 3 drivers in this championship fight. It could become 4, depending on how successful Lewis Werrell is here tonight, and then again on Friday and Saturday. If he keeps his winning streak up, then suddenly the others will start to look over their shoulder as this incredible young talent, who took both the rookie and overall victory last night, will suddenly start to make the other drivers break into a sweat. And that is what they don't need from the number 98, Lewis Werrell. Right, Bolofsky's done a 2:07.3. Wow, straight into the 2:07s up at the sharp end. That is a monstrous bit of pace from Kit Bolofsky, who is already looking at a vapid lap time there for pole position. Lewis Werrell, though, is fastest of all in sector 1, a 46.20, 40.485 in the second. Adam Al-Azhari is the fastest of all in the second sector, only 0.08 of a second quicker, though, than Lewis Werrell. So it really is going to be tight. Adam Al-Azhari down the home straight. Will he beat Kit Bolofsky to pole position for the time being? 2:07.397 to beat. Let's see. Is Adam Al-Azhari going to the top spot? Not quite. 2:07.59 for the man from Dubai. Scott Lindblom's done a 2:08.2. Abdullah Carmel is quick again. 2:08.0. Into third position he goes. Excellent work from the man from Jeddah. Can he put them on the podium this time? Kit Bolofsky's just done a 46.098 in the first sector. That's faster than anything anybody's done so far. And Lewis Werrell goes third, by the way, on a 2:07.70. Are we going to push into the 206s the way things are currently going? The pace is absolutely extraordinary at the moment. Kip Polowski goes straight into this with his eyes wide open. Now, in free practice this morning, we had 7 drivers covered by a second, so it's definitely getting a lot closer, as that's Ava Dobson just coming through on a 2:11.0. It's just for starters, there's going to be more to do. Adam Al-Azhari has just gone lightning quick in the first sector, 45.976. So Adam Al-Azhari, the first driver so far in qualifying to break the 46-second barrier. And now there's a second. Lewis Werrell's done so as well. 45.942. Kip Polowski's done a 46.098 and has gone quicker. 2:07.377. He's managed to find a few extra thousandths of a second. But what can Al-Azhari and Werrell do? They are absolutely rapid. Al-Azhari, fastest of all in Sector 2, 40.259. What about Lewis Werrell? He's going to be behind Al-Azhari on the road. Carmel, Lindblom and Ramakas are all going faster than they have done before. What about Lewis Werrell? What's he going to do in the second split? Is he going to be the fastest second sector of all? Not quite. 40.460. Al-Azhari looks really good for pole position here. This is going to be a very strong lap indeed. Fastest of all in Sector 1 is Werrell. Fastest of all in Sector 2 is Al-Azhari. Fastest of all in Sector 3 is Polowski, who's just gone purple in Sector 1 now. Quicker than Werrell as Al-Azhari goes to the top spot with a 2:06.9. 2:06.923 for Adam Al-Azhari. That's provisional pole position for the boy from Dubai. But what about Kip Polowski? What about Lewis Werrell as well? Werrell is trying to get into the 2:07.3s. And Werrell does a 2:07.0. Lewis Werrell into second position. Only 0.156 off Al-Azhari. But Kip Polowski is the fastest of all in Sector 1. This isn't over. 40.5 in the second split, though, for Polowski. That's not where he wants to be. It's his personal best, but that's still 0.3 back from Al-Azhari. So this is going to be a very tough pole position. I think at the end of this lap, we're going to have 3 drivers separated by less than 0.2 of a second, because we know Polowski is very quick in Sector 3. Scott Lindblom is down in 6th at the moment. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to be closer to Carmel and Tibor Ramakas. Adam Al-Azhari's gone rapid in Sector 1 now as well. 45.713. Werrell's done a 45.775. This is what we were talking about. These Pirellis are working so much better under the night sky compared to where they were in Bahrain, because these cars are just going quicker and quicker. Polowski, 2:07.0. That is a mighty third split. A 40.648. So it's Sector 2 where Polowski is a little bit slow, but the gap between them all is 0.164. If he can tidy up Sector 2, Polowski's going to grab a chance at pole position here. A 40.306 for Adam Al-Azhari in the second sector. That is only 0.5 of a second slower than he's done before, and he's just cracked a 45.713 in the first split. So this is going to be tight for another good lap for Adam Al-Azhari. He could push into the 2:06.8s here. Let's look for Al-Azhari as he comes across the line. What can he do? It's 2:06.9 to beat. That is Farah Al-Yusuf. That's his teammate. We need to see the other Valvoline car. 2:06.5 from Adam Al-Azhari. Oh my goodness. He's found half a second. What a run from Adam Al-Azhari. That is extraordinary speed from the boy from Dubai. Fantastic as Adam Al-Azhari smashes them all. Lewis Werrell comes through, 2:06.9. That's how big an impact Adam Al-Azhari's lap has made, as Abdullah Carmel has done a 2:07.4. That's still good enough for 4th position. Kip Polowski, 45.8 in Sector 1, 40.4 in Sector 2. That's so much better for Polowski. He might be able to pull this pole position off. 40.56 is the fastest third sector from Al-Azhari. Werrell's done a 40.6 in Sector 3. If Polowski can get anywhere close to that, he might just be able to crack the front row. As we watch Abdullah Carmel, he's on the second row. He was 3rd in qualifying yesterday, currently 4th. Still looking good for a potential podium. Quicker than Lindblom, quicker than Ramakas. And the fastest of the ladies is Rachel Robertson. Great performance from her. And it shows you how big the confidence booster is from her finding out that she's going to be competing in F1 Academy at Las Vegas as a wildcard. Belovski across the line, 2:06.902. He's into second. He's only gone quicker than Lewis Werrell by 11 thousandths of a second. That was the gap between them last night. Absolutely amazing. This time Belovski's quicker than Werrell, but by 11 thousandths of a second. Again, just like yesterday. So Al-Azhari and Werrell have backed down. Belovski seems to have done the same thing, but 0.3 of a second between Al-Azhari and Belovski. The confidence that the man from the UAE has found overnight, that's big. But Al-Azhari has clearly gone away last night, done his homework. He has found even more pace than he was able to pull off yesterday. Yesterday he was half a second back. Today he's 0.3 up. So Adam Al-Azhari will go into another flying lap to try and find a little bit more. There is Abdullah Kamel. What's he done? A 2:07.6. It's not his personal best. It's 0.9 away from pole position, but it's still good enough for 4th position. Scott Lindblom's just done a 2:07.515. That's his best, but it's still 16 thousandths of a second slower than Abdullah Kamel, so it's not going to be enough to move him forward. So Belovski's still pushing. A 46.0 in Sector 1, a 40.6 in Sector 2. That's not going to be an improvement. Werrell has backed right off in Sectors 1 and 2, as did Adam Al-Azhari, but he's going for another quick lap. This is fascinating. We've got a little bit of traffic to deal with here as Faris Organji and Farah Al-Youssef try not to cause too much of a roadblock to Wojciech Woda, the Polish driver in the number 2 Zahid car. But Rachel Robertson is now the fastest of the lady drivers, 1.3 seconds back from Adam Al-Azhari, quicker than Klosterman, quicker than Batig, and quicker than Megan Bruce. Very impressive turn of events for Rachel Robertson. And she is making a massive impact here tonight. She's really turned the corner over the last few weeks. In Bahrain, by her own admission, she was just trying to figure out what a single-seater car did at the limit. She wasn't really sure, having been top 3 in the Radical Cup UK series this year. But where she's come from to where she is now, that's amazing progress for the 18-year-old from Edinburgh. And Rachel Robertson looking strong here, 7th on the grid provisionally. Almost 0.2 of a second quicker than Klosterman. That's impressive. Right, Al-Azhari's done a 45.8 in Sector 1. That's not the best of the session, but he has just done a 40.252 in the second. That is the best of the session. So Adam Al-Azhari is looking to increase his lead in qualifying even more. Kit Belovski's done a 46.0 for Sector 1. Scott Lindblom and Tibor Ramakas are both under 46. They've done a 45.9 apiece in Sector 1. This could be anybody's pole position. 40.3 for Lindblom in Sector 2. Ramakas has done a 40.6. It's not quite going to be good enough to make progress. But Adam Al-Azhari, this could be quicker than a 2:06.57. It's a 2:06.58. Goodness me. A fastest 3rd sector of anybody. That is astonishing how close Al-Azhari just got to beating his own best time. He was 5 thousandths of a second slower than his best lap. Meanwhile, Belovski is half a second back in Sector 2. So Belovski's going to need another lap to push here as Al-Azhari's backed down off it. Abdullah Kamel isn't backing down from it. He wants more. And he's down to P6. That's why Lindblom's gone P4 and Ramakas has gone P5. 2:07.0 and 2:07.4 for those two. Wow, Lindblom and Ramakas are not out of this yet. If they can find another quick lap, then they're suddenly back in the hunt as Kit Belovski goes past the start-finish straight this time by. In comes Faris Organji. So that's done and dusted for Faris Organji now in the session. Kit Belovski's done a 2:07.6 that time. That's 0.7 of a second off his best. So he's got to hope that he's got another strong, clean lap underneath him. And the 99, Abdullah Kamel, turn 4 in lap 8 was a track limits infringement, so that's the lap time deleted. I hope that's not his best lap. But I don't think it is. I think he's got away with that, to be fair. Another sub-46 first sector for Lewis Werrell and Scott Lindblom. Under the lights, these Pirelli tyres are going so much further than they were in Bahrain. a 20-minute qualifying session, and they really can go the distance. Rachel Robertson's on a good lap as well. 40.6 for the second sector. That's only 4/10 of Al-Azhari, you know. Very impressive indeed from Rachel Robertson. She is suddenly a different race driver compared to the start of the year. Belowski at 46.0 in sector 1. Werrell of 45.8. Lindblom of 45.9. They could still get onto the front row of the grid here. As we watch Lindblom try and crack the front row of the grid. Can the Swedish driver get there? It's going to be tight. 2:07.4. It's that third sector. It doesn't help him, unfortunately. Lewis Werrell's done a personal best in sector 2 of 40.29. Pole position could come Lewis Werrell's way here. We're playing with hundredths of a second. If he gets a decent third sector, Werrell could take this away from Al-Azhari. Faris Organji gets out of the car, but what about on track? Lewis Werrell, he could steal the pole. I'm looking for him. He goes past the line now. Is Lewis Werrell going to get the front row at least? He comes through. Second, 2:06.62. 41 thousandths of a second slower than Adam Al-Azhari. Nothing in it. Oh my word. Lewis Werrell finds a 2:06.620. Oh my goodness me. Very tight indeed. That's going to be updated on your screen in seconds. But Lewis Werrell has got the front row behind Adam Al-Azhari. Belowski third, Lindblom fourth, then Timur Ramakas and Abdullah Kamel. Lewis Werrell, what a lap from the rookie. Absolutely terrific stuff. Adam Al-Azhari though, pole position, and he knows it. He's brought it into the pits. There's nothing more he can find. But crucially, there's nothing anybody else can find either. And the 16-year-old will be jubilant with that one. Great to see him back at the front again. And this title fight just took another interesting twist. Checkered flag is out on circuit now. We're waiting to see if anybody's going to make any vast improvements before the session concludes. But Adam Al-Azhari is out of the car. He's happy. He's satisfied. At 2:06.5, he's not going to get beaten tonight by the look of it. Wojciech Woda's going to come through. Can he make an improvement? 2:08.95 for him to beat, and he has done so at 2:08.7. He goes quicker than Eva Dobson to move up into 11th place. A few more drivers coming through. Lindblom trying to finish things strong. Currently fourth. Can he go quicker? Lindblom trying to finish up. Oh, it's still a weak third sector though. 2:07.3. If he had just found a better third sector, Lindblom could have got on the front row of the grid there. It's that third sector, it's that final corner. I wonder if just slapping the barrier yesterday has shaken the confidence a little going through that final corner. Rachel Robertson crosses the line, 7th position. Now looking to be the favourite, to be the fastest of the ladies. Although Chiara Batigue is on a flyer. 46.5 in sector 1, 40.4 in sector 2. Batigue could go top 6 here. We wait to see what she gets as she comes across the line. She's currently 8th. Can she go top 6? She goes 7th. So Batigue at 2:07.63 to finish, and that is quicker than Rachel Robertson. So the Swiss driver from Zurich, Chiara Batigue, becomes the leading lady ahead of Robertson, Kusterman and Megan Bruce. Then Wojciech Woda, Eva Dobson, Faris Organji and Farah Al-Youssef. But by 41 thousandths of a second, it's Adam Al-Azhari who claims pole position. How close do you like your qualifying sessions? Because that is about as close as it gets here at Jeddah. Fantastic stuff. And now the man from the United Arab Emirates is back in the hunt. 17 points back to Belowski, but he starts 2 places ahead of him in the race tonight. Adam Al-Azhari in pole from Lewis Werrell. Kit Belowski in 3rd from Scott Lindblom in P4. Then Timur Ramakas, the local favourite Abdullah Kamel, and then the leading ladies, Chiara Batigue and Rachel Robertson. 9th is Esme Kusterman. The last 2 ladies' wins were taken by her. Megan Bruce in P10 for Team Karagi. Then it is the Polish driver Wojciech Woda ahead of the American Eva Dobson. And then we have Faris Organji and Farah Al-Youssef flying the flag for Saudi Arabia at the tail of the field. What a performance from Lewis Werrell. Pole position yesterday, 2nd place tonight. But he is in the hunt for another victory. Although Adam Al-Azhari is now the favourite to become the first 3-time winner in the F4 Saudi Arabia Championship 2025. What a session. What a battle for pole. And now all bets are off in this championship fight. Kipilovsky is still there, third position, ahead of Lindblom, Ramakas and Abdullah Carmel. But all of a sudden, we have got ourselves a bona fide battle for the victory tonight here on the Jeddah Corniche circuit. And that's going to be taking place in just a little under 4 hours' time. What a battle we are set for here at Jeddah Corniche. Race 2, round 3 is going to be an absolute sensation. Join us for that from Jake Sanson here in the commentary box. We're going to get ourselves ready for race 2, round 3. Beyond the halfway point now, and Adam Alazari is back in the game.